What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Today, I think we might be talking about our last failsafe weapon of these episodes here. Not sure, they might drip feed us a couple more, but we got the Chronophage right here. That nice little trace rifle in the void burn inside of our special slot, so we're gonna go over this bad boy. Definitely feels pretty good, both PvP, PvE, nothing too crazy about it obviously compared to other ones that we have craftable wise, but we do got a lot of options for perks, so let's go over those as well as our origin trait. So we got a Radiolaria and Transposer, so rapid final blows cause targets to explode into a pool of a Radiolarian fluid. This means we get that nice little pool that drops down, causes a little AoE effect, if you will, that is kind of like a jolt but won't like stun champions, nothing like that. So not too shabby for the ad clear side of things. Definitely don't get it to proc too much inside of the crucible, so I would say mid-tier origin trait at best. So for this bad boy, we're gonna build this out for some reload because its range and stability also pretty solid. Just base stats why the way we have it built out for PvE is 74 in range, 91 in stability, so it feels definitely crispy for that masterwork. Like I said, going with that reload, that adaptive frame feels right for it. Plus it reloads super quickly at like 64 in the reload. Definitely feels right for PvE, for keeping that pressure on enemies, etc. For barrel right here, went with polygonal rifling, has that stability. Like I said, we have pretty good stats in all of our other categories. Could go with small bore if you want to give yourself some more range, but I wanted to build this out as stable as I could with that nice reload speed. Battery wise right here, I went with the good old tactical battery. Gives us stability, reload, and range, giving us exactly all three stats that I've been talking about. Felt the best for me inside of my PvE realm as well as the PvP, if I'm being honest. Tactical battery is not going to change. We did lose a little bit in magazine size compared to some of the other batteries, but since we don't have to use anything like a boss champion mod on our weapons anymore, we can throw on that backup mag, getting 104 in the magazine, so it feels super nice. So starting us out in our third and fourth columns, we got repulsor brace destabilizing rounds, the match that they literally put those perks out together for, but we get that overshield of course when we defeat those void debuffed targets, so repulsor definitely a good option for that third column. Next option, which is very interesting to me, I like shoot to loot on this bad boy. We could shoot orbs of power as well as ammo bricks to reload our weapons, gain those orbs of power without actually having to go and get them. So since this is on a special weapon, we can shoot those special bricks, reload this weapon just by shooting those bricks. So it's a nice little ammo economy thing, especially you got your special ammo finders on, etc. This thing feels definitely very nice. Last but not least, strategist right here for those ability spams, if you will, like using the class ability. It definitely feels the best for me inside of the PvE realm compared to like pugilist. Not a bad option, but I like having the strategist a little bit more. Now fourth column, same thing, like I said, repulsor brace. We got the destabilizing rounds that pairs with that because those targets become volatile, so we can get volatility with overshield just consistently with that combination. Definitely would probably be what I go with this thing, using it more as an ad clear weapon than something for DPS. Second option for the fourth column right here, we got target lock, stacks up to ×5 for some pretty good weapon damage on this bad boy. Would build it if you want for that damage aspect, but I do think, like I said, more of an ad clear weapon than DPS, so target lock would fall before that destabilizing in my personal opinion, but it is a good option. Now if you really want that ability spam, we got demolitionist in this fourth column, so you pair this with that strategist, you're going to get your grenade as well as your class ability very quickly by getting those defeats. Plus you can reload the weapon with throwing your grenades, so nice little combination there of ability spam. And then we do got one last one if you would like. Last but not least, like I was talking about, we got desperate measures. Those final blows grant us damage for a improved duration. Melee and grenade final blows grant a larger damage bonus that can stack, so definitely feels good PvE wise. Just in general as a perk, I think in my personal opinion, my number one is probably that destabilizing with repulsor brace, just because I said it's more of an ad clear weapon than DPS, but that's totally up to you. I would probably give this a 4.3 out of 5 for the PvE realm has its place for sure, especially since it's craftable. We got a couple other options in trace rifles, but this one definitely feels good, especially this season, since we got that void weakening, expanding abyss on our artifact, etc. So we'll cover the PvP next, but definitely not a bad PvE weapon that you can craft. Now, PvP side of things, since the ammo economy is definitely pretty solid, this thing, even with how we have it built out at 94 range, definitely doesn't have the range of like a pulse rifle, scout rifle, something like that. So you got to be careful using it at those middle ranges. But for our intrinsic trait, we're going to have that nice range masterwork, of course. So we're going to have 94 on range, 83 on stability with 53 on handling as our stats, the way that we have this built out. So definitely very solid. So starting us out with our barrel, we got small bore +7 to range, +7 to stability, gives us that 94 in range, 83 in stability. Like I said, even with this 94, we built it out as high as we really could get it without losing a bunch in our other stats, if you will, handling and stability specifically. But you're gonna have to build this out and kind of take those fights, if you will, at those medium ranges to medium long. For battery, went with projection fuse, gives us that most range. So like I said, trying to build it out to compete at that medium to long range against those pulses as well as those scouts, but really more of a range against like some auto rifles, SMGs, stuff like that. Third column right here got a couple different options. We got our strategist, so we can get our class ability back, so it also gives us some stability when we do use our class ability. So that rift, dodge, or our barrier, totally up to you, but I do like strategist in general for the PvP realm. I do also like pugilist in this slot because we do get our melee back when we get those final blows, plus dealing melee energy gives us some increased handling, and you can never have enough handling inside of the crucible. Switching on and off your weapons, it definitely makes it a good little perk, but I would really choose one of those two for the PvP realm on this weapon. Kind of the same thing in the fourth column. Not many things that are crazy about this weapon for PvP, but high ground you could use, so you get those final blows, give you some bonus damage, or attacking targets from higher ground immediately gives you max stacks, plus we get a little extra reload. Not that that's too crazy inside of PvP in my personal opinion, because we're not really going to get 104 shots in our magazine unless you're hoarding ammo or just absolutely slaying out and everybody on the other team has ammo as well. But high ground is a good first option. Ability spam, strategist, pugilist with demolitionist, kind of like I said for PvE. You can use these to get your abilities back. With this you can get your grenade back. Activating our grenade also reloads the weapons, so not that that's going to be too big of a thing either inside of the crucible. But if you're looking for some ability spam, if you're getting those defeats, not a bad option with strategist as well as demolitionist. Last option, PvP fragile focus. This weapon gains that bonus range until your shield is destroyed. The bonus is returned more quickly once your shield regenerates to full strength, so not a bad option, giving us that 100 in range, but still doesn't compete with those pulse rifles or scout rifles at those super long ranges, so gotta be careful for that. PvP realm would probably give this thing like a 3.8-ish, something like that. Nothing too crazy about it. Obviously the meta plays heavy in the 120s, pulse rifles, shotguns, stuff like that, so you got to be careful using this thing almost more as an SMG in the PvP realm, if you will, or an auto rifle, using it up close, so be careful for that. But overall, definitely a fun weapon. Like that we got so many this season, but the drip feed of content was very slow and very hard for me to keep up with, and I know you guys feel the same way. So hopefully you guys will be coming back in the future here with Destiny. Hopefully they do some things to fix it up, but we will see actually what they do. So again, I appreciate all you guys for coming back. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.